Welcome to Barackobamics 101, and we will work our way into trust as well. Barackobamics will be a severe strain on our delicate economy. Number one factor will be that further make the downturn of our economy is the 5% capital gains tax that will be hitting the companies. Well, just because, it sounds all great and pretty when, hey, the companies are getting it, that's making all this money, but the fact is the consumer pays the capital gains tax. They will inflate costs to compensate for that 5%. Now, you gotta think about this now. We, the consumers, the Americans, are going to be paying for this. So the prices are going to go up. There's no doubt about that. So with that being said, your wallets are going to get a little bit empty. You're going to have less to spend, so you're going to be buying less things. And it also works in the global economy as well. If you think about the global economy, we're involved in that. We have trade. So our prices are going to go up. So people over there are going to buy less. It's going to affect the global economy as well as they're not buying from us. So guess what? Our American economy gets hit again. So double hit on the American economy just on the 5% capital gains tax. And that's just one thing. So what happens from there? Small businesses go bankrupt. There's jobs lost. No doubt about that. Then larger companies will be unable to support the employee base that they have. So guess what? There will be layoffs. So again, jobs lost. The unemployment in this country will rise to epidemic proportions. There's no doubt about that. I foresee that happening within a couple of years of Barack Obama changing that 5% tax, capital gains tax, as well as other things that will go on. Now, with all that going on, there will be less taxes coming in. So guess what? Here we go back to taxes now. So with less coming in, guess what's going to happen? Everybody, taxes are going to go up because we got to support all these huge programs that he has already promised everybody he's going to do, and we got to shore up Social Security. There's a lot of things that's got to be done in this country, so more taxes are going to go up. I mean, we're going to have epidemic, proportions of tax increases as well under Barack Obama's leadership. There's no doubt about that. Our national deficit will increase. So our dollar is going to be devalued even more than what it is today, and that's already a bad thing with us buying so much money from China. $500 billion is where we're at right now, so that's kind of crazy. Also, companies will have less money to spend on employee benefits. So, I mean, we're going to have less benefit money, and so that's you're going to have probably less coverage than you had before at best. So while we're there on healthcare, have you heard exactly what Obama's fine is going to be to these companies? Is it going to be $100, $1,000, $100,000? And what does he consider a small business? Is a small business 5 employees, 10 employees, 15, 50, 100 employees, 1,000 employees? So what is, or does it go by dollar amount, how much you make? I mean, what exactly is a small business to Barack Obama? Have not heard an answer to that at all. Also, when it comes to taxes, we have heard that only at first it was the $250,000, people making $250,000 will not get a tax, anybody above the $250,000 will get a tax increase. Then we've heard stories of $220,000. Then we heard $200,000 single, $250,000 married. These are all things coming from Barack Obama. Now, from Joe Biden last week, it went down to $150,000. And then just yesterday, Governor Bill Richardson said $120,000. These numbers did not come out of thin air, people. This was not, a gaffe, as they call it, or anything like that. These numbers are being talked behind the doors. They're being talked behind the scenes. There's obviously people talking about lowering that and how they're going to do it. So they're going to spit these numbers out here. Well, we did say at this point, if you heard, we're going to have to do $120,000. And I believe it's going to go well below that. There's no doubt we're going to have some significant taxes increases under the arms of Barack Obama's tax plan. So, now there again comes into the trust factor. How can you trust Barack Obama when you have all these numbers floating? What number's right? Let's settle on a number. Let's change it. There's no explanation why the number's being changed. It would be different if you come out and say, well, we're going to do $200,000 because there's just no way we could balance the budget. That would be acceptable. But these numbers are changing all the time, and there's no explanation to these numbers being changed. So let's go in further into the actual trust factor with Barack Obama. We talk about public funding at the beginning of or John McCain and Barack Obama talked about public funding. They said, no, we won't take public funding. They agreed upon that. And unfortunately, Barack Obama went against his word and did that anyway. So again, well, let's go back to taxes. Just because he said he wasn't going to raise your taxes doesn't mean he won't. So he's already proven that he will go against promises that he does makes. Very simple, guys. He goes against promises that he makes already. Proven fact. And we can almost guarantee we're going to get tax increases from Barack Obama, just from the previous stuff that I said, not including other things in his economic plan that will increase our taxes. And he also said that he's going to remove Bush's tax cuts. So, guys, I don't know about you, but I had a tax cut from President Bush. And I don't make over $100,000 a year. Everybody pretty much got a check. And I guarantee you, I had that check. It was in my taxes the next year, but it was effective in my tax rate the following year. So let not Barack Obama fool you here. Not just the rich got a tax cut from President Bush. Everybody got a tax cut from President Bush. Redistribution of the wealth, I'll go into that in just a second, is not a good thing. Trying to be, have prosperity in his country, the American dream that he somewhat talks about sometimes, that is the American dream, people. We shouldn't be taking it away. We're trying to make this what America is. Prosper. Get better, not prosper and we'll take it back from you and give it to the poor. He's playing Robin Hood games here that don't really work for the America or the economy. Well, and if we want to talk about actual management, leadership, being an effective leader, let's look at look at the two campaigns themselves. Barack Obama has raised $640 million. I believe that's more than anybody has ever raised, and that's great. But McCain has only risen $370 million. So not quite, it's like half of what he's raised. Now, but the polls are showing the numbers are pretty much almost tied at this point. They're very close. So in a toss-up race, when you have somebody spending that much money, Barack Obama on this side spending this much money, and you have John McCain spending this much money, and they're actually tied, who's managing their money a lot better? Obviously, let me ask you, think to yourself, who can manage their money better and be an effective leader just off the campaign themselves? Obviously, John McCain has managed his money, budgeted his money, been a great leader with his money. That's what he'll do for the American people. There's no doubt about that. He's already proven that just in this campaign. So take that to heart. People, you got to look at those things. Barack Obama has no record of being able to conserve money. He's voted many times in the past to raise taxes. In Illinois, as a senator, I know he's tried to raise taxes on people making $42,000 or more. So he voted for that. That's a fact. Look at John McCain's record. Check all the the unbiased places about the facts. Don't just trust any website. Trust like Politico.com and places like that. But furthermore, also, and just going into the websites themselves and where they're getting their campaign money, McCain has a secure website that, they won't let you duplicate a transaction with the same credit card. Why doesn't Barack Obama? I'll leave you with that question and think about that and who you should vote for and who's more trustworthy in this campaign. We know the leadership from John McCain. I'd have to question who would actually be able to bring up any leadership from Senator Obama. other than a very good speaker, and I give him that. He's definitely a motivation getter. He's a great guy when it comes to that stuff, but he's not ready to lead our company. His economic plan, his healthcare plan, and everything that just goes down the line is not going to be effective for our country. It is not going to make our country prosper like it's supposed to. If you want to prosper, you want to make more money, and you have less taxes, I would suggest voting for John McCain.